All right. Welcome to the official MAP Technologies podcast. And we are back at it like Craftmatic to bring you the happenings in the world of gaming. As you see, I'm still trapped in the cave. They won't let me out. I'm out of here, son. I'm ready to go. But no, we're back at it. It's me, Mike Peace, aka King Gardamus. I see him looking around. Don't look around. You know who I'm about to introduce. Oh, yeah. The baddest, blackest on this side of the Mississippi. Tyrone Johnson, a.k.a.
Leroy Jenkins.
Pull the
That's
whole
me.
way. Let's go.
Leroy Jenkins, a.k.a. Dark Horse. What is up?
Yeah. And after he takes his sippy sip out of sippy cup.
Yeah. It's your boy, the Charm City Champ, and I am, for all you audio listeners out there, I'm wearing my Sunday best.
Yeah, he is. I'm a little jealous. He shaved and took a bath and learned how to read and count.
I'll be honest, I totally forgot about that. I would have dressed up, full 3-piece and everything, but forgot.
I actually have a cummerbund on under this. You can't see it.
But just a cummerbund, nothing else.
Yeah.
Just a cummerbund down below. And last but not least,
J Infinity, aka Mr. O. No.
Oh no.
Let's go.
That's what we were saying
go.
when you were trying to update Discord.
Yeah, John was having a little bit of technical difficulty, but he was able to join us. So we're thankful for that. We thank you, Mr. Oh no.
That's what happens when you cancel the Patreon.
Spoiler.
Everything goes to hell. Next week, redactions. Patreon's back up. All right, Mr. 3C, what we got happening this week?
Yeah, well, today, obviously, people are probably out there wondering, why am I dressed up so well? Well,
Yes.
This week, we're going to announce the winners of our first ever MAP Awards.
Yes,
But-
MAP Awards.
But Foist, some of you are here because y'all have heard rumblings that we are giving away a digital copy of this small indie game you might not have heard of, Cyberpunk.
Been in development for a while.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to give a copy away on the platform of your choice today. And all you have to do to enter is put in the comment section below the phrase Night City.
Night City?
Night City.
All
Is that with a
right.
K or an N?
No.
Yeah.
Figure it out. And whoever figures it out wins. It's going to be, it's going to say text. It's going to be there. But put Night City in the comments. Immediately after this podcast premieres, we're going to randomly select a commenter, and you will win a copy of Cyberpunk 2077.
But what you don't know is you have to come to the shop to pick it up, and when we do, we're just gonna kick your ass when you come in the shop.
You got to get jumped in.
Got you. I want my game. Shut up.
It's never coming out.
Why do you guys have to be so mean? Yeah, so do that, and good luck to everybody.
Yeah, man. Hopefully you stay tuned for the rest of the show. If you don't,
and
that's
don't
fine.
just be a greedy fool. I just came in for the code.
But next up is, what are we all playing? What are we playing?
What are we playing? What are we playing? What are we playing? You start first. What are you playing?
I'm playing.
Man, I would take a shower, not brush my teeth.
Everybody wants to shake things up, but so I want to talk about two games. First up is probably a lesser known game called Call of the Sea.
I was like, Call of this.
I want to say, I think it's an Xbox exclusive, but I think it's Xbox and PC possibly. So I played it.
Is that the pirate game?
No, you're thinking of the game
Sea
that
of
sucks.
Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is actually supposedly good now.
Right.
I don't know though.
A lot of people like
Sea
it.
of Suck.
I don't
Sea
get
of
it.
Suck. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I bought it first day. Bad story, but keep on.
Call of the Sea is a single player. It's basically a walking simulator.
Like walking, like you walk to the store?
No, like okay, so there's a subgenre of games called walking simulator where there's no real combat in it. You're just kind of like walking in a 3D environment and solving puzzles and finding out the story through interacting with the environment.
Okay,
Like
I've just never heard the terminology.
Edith Lynch is a walking simulator. Firewatch. I don't know if this is ringing any bells.
Does Dallas count as a
that was before its time.
Right, yeah. Breaking grounds here.
But anyway, Call of Duty, you're playing as this woman who is, the game takes place in like the 1930s. You're playing as a woman who ventures off to a Polynesian island to look for her husband. And shortly after you get there, you find out the husband went to the island to find a cure for this skin disease that your character has. So
the only way, so not to cut you off, the only way I would play this game is if the people talk like this, right? I come here to find the cure, say, yeah, man. Say, I need the cure, man.
1, 2, 3, skidoo. They do not.
Oh.
So spoiler alert. But all right, so I say that this game is not for everybody because like most walking simulators, the pacing is very methodical. And like I said, there is no combat. It's all puzzles and solving things. But the puzzles are very good. And what this game does well is, you know how like you're playing a game and you're solving a puzzle and it takes you a little while to solve the puzzle and then they just up and just tell you the answer and you feel like an idiot. This game does not do that. If you can't solve the puzzle, you're just
an idiot.
That's it. You're an idiot that doesn't get to see the end of the game. But I kind of like that though, because it forces you to kind of like look at things the way you normally wouldn't look at, and you kind of got to.
That's just a very old school style.
Yeah, everybody
like,
doesn't have to
just figure it out, man.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have to beat every game. It is fine. Nope.
Except me. I have to beat all the games.
I wish games would go back to some games is fine with the whole adjusting the difficulty so people can see the ending. And I know a lot of developers put a lot of work into story and character and cutscenes, and they want the maximum amount of people to see the game through fruition. But I liked it back when it was a badge of honor to beat a game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And this one kind of scratches that itch. And it looks really good on the Series X. It plays on the Xbox One and the Series X, but it's optimized for Series X. Looks really good. Colors are vibrant as hell. It's kind of like, not cel shady, but kind of like, it's hard to describe. It's a real bright color scheme. And it really pops.
Nice.
Secondly, a little more conventional game, Madden 21. Got his next gen.
I came back at the wrong time.
Came back right on time to talk about sports ball, baby.
Oh, look,
a dragon.
Madden 21 got his next gen update last week. I got to test it out on the PS5, and it looks really good. Graphically, this is the best. Obviously, most of the time, sports games are normally the best looking game on your shiny new console, and Madden 21, no exception. Looks really good. Controls a lot better than the PS4 and Xbox One version did.
What's different about the control?
So, not necessarily control. I guess the word I should say is the animations. The transition from animation to animation is more fluid.
Okay.
So
it's a smoother game.
Yes. So if you want to, with the old Madden, it was one of those games where if you wanted to do a new action, you had to wait for the avatar to finish the prior action. You get what I'm saying? So like if I'm running and I spin,
you couldn't cancel anything.
Exactly. So you can do that.
Fighting games.
You can do that in this Madden, and it looks realistic. Like it looks like a real person is doing it. It doesn't just look like some janky animation that just got interrupted. Really like that. It runs now at 60 frames per second on the PS5, and that's a huge difference that I didn't. This is one of the games where I can really notice the FPS change. And what else? Besides that, though, that's where the improvement stops. The dumb story mode is still there. So
is it bad?
It's very poorly written.
That's a bummer.
So Madden, like I think this started 2 or 3 years ago, where Madden started shoehorning a single player experience into their games, because 2K has been doing it for about 5 or so years, and theirs has been pretty good. Like one year they had
Blitz the
Spike Lee
league.
write it, but this one in Madden, I don't think anybody buys Madden for this. It's not good. Um,
Hell no.
you basically play this like retired NFL player, and you are reliving your story through a sports interview. So he goes back to his high school days, and just through the decisions you make and the way you play is supposed to guide where he goes. But the problem is, like, you can be complete shit and still be like the number one NFL draft pick, and like your team still moves on to it's the way you play doesn't affect the story beats, and that's really dumb.
And Mr. Irrelevant drafted in the last round.
I got absolutely no touchdowns and 10 interceptions and the number one draft pick. So yeah, it's pretty weird that even on next gen they couldn't have maybe altered that to where it could be a little more customizable. But besides that, really good game. Looks really good. I would check it out if you're a sports ball guy.
All right. Madden.
Football.
The football.
Football.
There, I did it.
John, what you playing?
Cool. I just started playing Just Cause 4. I just don't like it. It's not what I expected. People had been telling me about this series for a long time, and this is my first time playing any of them. And as chaotic as people make it sound, it really isn't. It really isn't at all. Like I was expecting to run around, just blow everything up, and bodies fly everywhere, and that just simply wasn't the case. So I'm just gonna skip it from now on.
Okay.
What else am I playing? Was it Shadows of Mordor? Yeah.
Which one? So the first one, the first one's called Shadow of Mordor. The second one's called Shadow of War. Shadow of
Mordor.
Okay.
Yeah. I think. Hold up. Let me.
Shadow of War has
people
more of like
still out here making Lord of the Rings games.
Yeah.
Shadow of War. Shadow of War is the one. Yeah. Shadow of War.
So you played the two.
It's actually. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. It's pretty cool. This is an awesome game. Like the graphics are great. Gameplay is awesome.
It's the Mandalorian of Lord of the Rings.
It's one of those instances where the video game is actually better than most of the movies and anything else that was made in that world. Besides the first three first three Lord of the Rings movies.
Y'all coming with like the spicy spice.
Like as I'm playing, I'm like, why wasn't this a trilogy? You know what I mean? Or why is this not a TV show? You feel me? Instead, we got The Hobbit, which should have been one movie split into what? They did 3 Hobbit movies, right?
They did.
It was it was one that I just it was the middle that I just didn't care for. I don't even remember what happened in the middle. But,
I don't think I watched the second or third Hobbit movie.
You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. But it was actually pretty good though. What else am I playing? I tried playing Darksiders 3. Again, another series that I've been told is so great, and it's just not fun. I was expecting God of War, and it's not even close to that. Like it feels like a PS2 action platform. Like
Can we you moved so fast. I want to. So Just Cause. I highly suggest you play 3.
3.
I think 3 was like the peak, the pinnacle of that franchise. Like 4, they really try to add too much with the weather system, and it looked like, even though it's still ridiculous, it looked like it tried to get a little more grounded. Even though obviously it's still a dumb game, you can like hop into a tornado and surf the tornado. So, but Just Cause 3 was
as one does.
Obviously, did you not see Twister? But Just Cause 3, I think, really hit the mark as far as creating a fun open world sandbox to play in. So if you can find a way to play that one, play that one. But 4, I didn't like.
Yeah, 4 is kind of like a box with no sand.
Yeah.
You know, just...
Damn, it's just a box game.
Right.
It's an open world box.
You're just running in the walls. Boom, boom.
As far as Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor, there are 2 really good games. And for those people who aren't familiar with them, the one thing that franchise brought that really changed the game, for lack of a better term, I can't remember the name of the engine, but they had this thing where the enemy army has like generals and lieutenants and stuff like that, and they would remember you. So if you would go into battle with a lieutenant and he beat you, the next time you went up to him, he'd be like, "Oh man, you was a bitch. I beat you. I whooped you last time."
And he got stronger.
And he would get stronger. Yes, he would get stronger if he beat you because he would know your weaknesses. But if you beat him, he would give you intel on other people in the army, like, "Oh, don't kill me, Lieutenant, whatever his name is. He doesn't like fire." So you can go over to him and like set a fire near his place, and then he's weaker because he's scared of the fire. Or the enemy system. Damn, I really want to figure out what it's called.
It's called Lift Tech Firebird.
Yeah. Super dope.
Lift Tech Firebird.
Yeah, it the AI for the enemy officers was very impressive really for the time being, and nobody has really done something like that since. I don't think.
You would think they would.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It boggles my mind that developers, the good things that come out of games like the AI and Shadow of Mordor and other elements in other games, why they just like they copy the stupid stuff, the stuff that works. They refuse to copy it and try to make something of their own and totally screw it up. I just don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And I think it was made by Warner Brother Games. I know Warner Brother Games doesn't really make too much. I know they produced the Mortal Kombat franchise and stuff like that, but I don't know. And what was the third game you said?
Darksiders.
Darksiders 3.
Oh yeah, that game sucks.
Damn.
I like that. All this other depth.
I don't have any input on that.
Maybe I need to go back and play 1 and 2. I don't know, because this
3. I knew 3 was going to be bad when it came out. It was $60, and like the next week it was like 20. They didn't even they skipped everything else. They didn't even like 60, 40. They were just like, yeah, it's 20. Oh, it's free with anything. Just go get it. Yeah.
And the thing is, I can't explain why the third one isn't as good as 1 and 2. Like, it doesn't stray too far away from what 1 and 2. The thing that made 1 and 2 really good is it kind of mimicked the combat of like God of War, but it also had the puzzles and the dungeon design of a Zelda.
And the second part added like the RPG element of it. You can equip stuff. So I think 2 was really good. And when 3 came out, I was like excited for it. But when that second week it dropped down to $20, I was like, hold on. This may not be good. They gave this shit away already.
Yeah.
What about all those great games that dropped, 50% in the first week?
Yeah.
Maybe it was Black Friday. You don't know.
Black Friday, the middle of July. Hey, Black Friday, 20%. Anything to get over. Merry Christmas. July. Bye. What the hell? What are you doing?
So, Now that I know this game is whack, I'm gonna delete it right now.
Yeah, it's not really worth your time, man.
And it's done.
Yeah, but that's about it. That's all I've been playing.
Mm.
Mike, what have you been playing?
Yeah, man.
Take a wild guy.
With himself. With himself.
Short game. I've been finished that. I've been finished that.
He has completed the game.
I've been playing World of Warcraft. So I haven't been on as much as I like to be because of the shop, but I've been on, and thanks to my awesome friend Dark Horse, who helps me out a good little bit. He's leading me on the righteous path.
Hey, Mike, you have your earbuds?
I do, but I've been using my phone all day, so it's dying.
Oh, so it's on the charger. Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even hear it.
So yeah, I've been playing World of Warcraft. That's about it. Dark Horse has been helping me out through a good bunch of it. Thank you, good sir, because he is way better at it than I am. So yeah, I'm having fun with it. I initially started and was trying to rush through to catch up with those guys, so I didn't pay attention to any of the story. So luckily, I have another character who I'm leveling up, and I'm paying attention to the story. And the story is actually pretty good. But
yeah, I think it's really good.
My problem is I've never paid attention to like any of the lore of World of Warcraft. So now I'm paying attention. I'm like, who's this motherfucker? He's like, back in Cataclysm. I'm like Googling, like, oh, king. I don't know anybody, you know. So it's cool trying to play catch up. So I'm actually enjoying it. It's a lot. Like when I log on, there's like a lot to do. So I'll see Jason on. I'll be like, hey, bud, what are you doing?
There is a lot to do.
What the hell I'm doing? But yeah, I'm having.
You know what, Mike? For Christmas, I'm gonna buy you Warcraft 1 through 3, Warcraft 1 through 3 for on Steam, so you can catch up.
It's not even the lore from the original, like up to 3 that he doesn't know. It's the lore of World of Warcraft that he doesn't know. The game that he's been playing.
Do you know your character's name?
No, I don't.
He doesn't even know his own character's lore.
I don't. I just need to know. If Dark Horse is on. That's all I need to know. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm actually I'm doing pretty good, but like I said, my problem is just so much to do. So I don't know if I'm supposed to do this, supposed to do that. Am I supposed to, gear up? Am I supposed to be? So I kind of figured out what I'm supposed to be doing to kind of gear up to get the way I'm doing. And for the most part, I'm having fun. But my problem is I just don't have enough time to get on it and put in as much time as I would like to.
Yeah, you just do it slowly. It's fine.
That's what she said.
Yeah, JB, you were saying a couple of weeks ago that this was maybe the most story that an expansion pack has really given.
In a bit, like Legion had a good story to it. It seems like they kind of go back and forth, where like an expansion will be like really story driven at the beginning, and Battle for Azeroth just wasn't. Like you knew it was just because the main theme of that whole expansion was just Horde versus Alliance. There wasn't like a main like bad guy that you were after or anything like that. So the story was kind of just like all over the place. There were some good parts for sure, but at the beginning of the expansion, like I leveled and I was just like, what's even happening? Like what's actually going on right now? Like I have no clue what's important in the story. Like I don't know, it was whack. But this one is like you're in this whole new world and there's a lot going on and you go to all these different places and the individual stories from each new zone like connect to the main story, and they just did a good job with it.
Yeah, the mall is fucking horrible.
Oh yeah, that zone is rough.
Yeah, the mall is, whoever made that is a sick bitch. Every time I go out to the mall, I'm like this. But yeah, that's what I'm playing. That's what about you, Jason? What are you playing?
I'm playing too. Playing WoW. Also played let's see, since last week. So I played Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, also known as Pod Racer.
Nice.
On N64. That was my a game I had to beat. The game is like surprisingly decent from what I remembered. Like, and all I remembered was like playing it at a bar, a couple times, and like being clueless, and the game just like moves really fast, and it was scary and not very good. But now that I kind of like, once I like figured out how to play, I was like, oh, this game's not bad. I kind of like it.
Well, it must have had some sort of following. They just re-released it not too long ago. Didn't
they
re-release it, or was it a remaster or a re-release?
I think it just got the re-release, on the new hardware.
I think
I don't know a ton.
It's 16:9 now, so they must have did some sort of rework to it, or maybe they just stretched it. Who knows?
I don't think they did a graphical upgrade besides the stretching. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Because that wasn't the only Star Wars game that got re-released. They also re-released Jedi Knight.
Was that the kart racer with the?
No, Jedi Knight's like
no.
It's like an action game, but it's also got like this infamous multiplayer in it.
I thought you were saying it wasn't the only Star Wars racing game they released, but that was the only other one I could think of. Like fucking Darth Maul in a little cart.
But no, that was other than Smash. That was the only 64 game I played. My next game is Command and Conquer, though, which apparently got a release on N64. So lucky me.
That's going to be fun to control with that controller.
RTS on console, definitely going to be interesting. There are two on 64, right? Command and Conquer and StarCraft.
Wow.
StarCraft
I do love StarCraft.
Got the full like Brood Wars treatment on N64.
It was called
like
StarCraft.
all six campaigns.
It was called StarCraft. It was
just called
64.
StarCraft 64.
Yeah.
But it's just Brood Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
I don't envy you.
Not at all.
Could be worse. I guess we're playing freaking bottom of the ninth and Ken Griffey Jr. It can always be worse.
It can always be worse.
But yeah, that's it.
All right, 3C, what we got happenings now?
Next up is the news.
Got some good news for us.
We got some. Well, that's perspective. First up,
Cyberpunk delayed another 12 hours.
I wouldn't deliver that one.
Wouldn't it be fucked up if you got Cyberpunk and put it in, hit start, and it's just Dave Chappelle saying, "Side bitch, side
Unity."
That one guy does this.
Oh yeah.
You mother, you fucking.
So speaking of Cyberpunk, reviews of Cyberpunk have been coming out this week, right? And the internet is in a uproar because.
So a guy made a joke. They gave Duke Nukem. What was the last one?
Forever.
Yes, a higher rating than Cyberpunk.
What? Wait. Which one did that?
I could be wrong, but he made the comparison to one of the Duke Nukems got a higher rating than the Cyberpunk thing.
Wow, I didn't hear that one.
Well, I'll pull it up and I'll check a screenshot. I'll send it to you.
So, the one that I was going to report on, it wasn't just one. So, it's been unanimous. A lot of the outlets that I've been reading, IGN and GameSpot mainly, in their reviews, they have pointed out that Cyberpunk, the version of Cyberpunk that they have played, because obviously by the time they get into consumers' hands, it's going to be a day one patch. It's probably going to fix a lot of stuff. But they made a point to mention that it is a lot of glitches in this game. Like, very distracting glitches. There was a point in IGN where they said, you're talking to an NPC and their stance was just do something weird. Like, they'd be like, yeah, why don't you follow me to this mission? It would be like some weird distracting glitches and NPCs not doing the right things. but they still wound up. IGN gave it a 9.
Okay.
And GameSpot, I believe their score was around 9.
They got paid for that.
Yeah. So that's what a lot of people are saying. I don't want to go as far as accusing that because I don't know. That's a messy road. I don't want to go into that accusation. But what made me stumble upon that was on Twitter, Days Gone was trending. And for y'all that don't know, Days Gone was a zombie game, a PS4 exclusive made by their internal studio, South Bend. And Days Gone, when it first came out, it got smashed by reviewers for having glitches in it. Like it was, IGN gave that one, I believe it was a 7-ish or an 8-ish. So people were saying, why did Days Gone get punished for having glitches, but this highly anticipated game did not get slammed for having glitches? And they have a point.
Yeah.
Why?
Seems fair.
Yeah.
You know why?
I've been reading some of the reviews, and so any review that gave it a 9 out of 10, I just ignored because they all said the same exact things.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reviews that aren't giving it those high scores where I've actually been seeing there's some consistency in why that game hasn't been getting the high scores.
Mm-hmm.
For majority of the reviews I've read, they're saying that this game is nothing special, and that it's just a polished version of every open world game that's been out in the last 5 years. So the hype that was surrounding this game was unwarranted with with what we got as a final product.
Sounds like
but I'm still gonna buy it because I'm interested in.
Yeah, so they're just saying like, yeah, it's a good game. It's just not like the greatest thing ever.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't what they hyped it up or what it was hyped up to be. And I think most of that hype was just from fans and not so much whatever studio Red.
CD Projekt Red.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, nothing's gonna live up to the hype when it's like that long in the making, you know?
Yeah.
But as long as it's still good, like.
And I don't blame CD Projekt Red for the hype of Cyberpunk because they were just quietly working on the game. It just so happened that Witcher 3 came out and it was a masterpiece. And now everybody just knew that CD Projekt Red's next game was going to be a masterpiece like Witcher 3. And people
blame Keanu Reeves.
With Keanu. Oh, then Keanu Reeves got added in it and everybody lost their mind.
It's so sacred.
If they hadn't used Keanu Reeves,
I'm contemplating.
It wouldn't be.
I'm contemplating picking it up though.
I think I still am. I'm gonna. Well, it's by the time this come out, I will be playing it. So, but that's the weird thing with hype and how that works because CD Projekt Red, from what I've heard, I have not played Witcher 1 and 2, but a lot of people, the people that I've talked to and the things that I've seen about Witcher 1 and 2.
You just skipped to the third one?
Yeah. Yeah. Because the only reason because I normally don't dabble too much in games set in like fantasy, the like medieval-ish fantasy worlds, because they normally aren't my cup of tea.
Because Mario's completely real.
You know what I mean? I don't play games normally with like knights and shit.
High fantasy. That's the term you're looking for.
Walk outside. Oh, Piranha Plant. Hey, Mr. Piranha Plant, how are you, sir?
But I heard people singing the praise of Witcher 3 so much, so I decided to jump in. Shut up! We got to get through this story.
Oh, your wife got kidnapped by Bowser again. But I'm late for work.
I don't even want to share with y'all no more.
I hope that works out for you. I'm sorry.
It's not. Bottom line is
Mike's got a lot of energy today.
He does. Bottom line, the hype is not CD Projekt Red's fault. I just think the fan base and all the game. I mean, right? It happens. A really big.
Yeah.
You play this masterpiece game and you just know for sure that the next one is going to be great. And sometimes it's not like that.
And that puts pressure on the studio too.
I'm about to say, that's a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the game could still be great.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be mind blowing.
Yeah.
No.
I think the game would do well regardless.
I mean, absolutely. It's definitely going to be.
Yeah, it's definitely going to do well.
Mm-hmm.
The only way it wouldn't do well is if it was a legit bad game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Cold War.
Oh my god.
Did I say something about Cold War? I don't know where that came from.
Anywho, next up, Project Athia. Athia. I said I was going to pronounce it Athia, and then I just did not follow that right. I haven't heard.
You completely dropped it.
I haven't heard the name of the game pronounced out loud. I don't think it's going to be named this at release because of the word project in it. But Project Athia is Square Enix's upcoming game that's going to be released, timed exclusive on the PS5. We found out So we found out in Sony's first showcase for the PS5 about this game and that it was going to be a timed exclusive. They just released a trailer for a bunch of it was a sizzle reel of all games that were on the PS5 now and what's going to come out, and it said Project Athia is going to be a 2-year exclusive on the PS5. Why would I wait around for 2 years to play
a mediocre game?
I mean, we don't know. I
crazy.
don't know. Has this ever happened?
I don't know that. Yeah, there have been games in the past. It used to happen to every console release that most console releases took about a year to got released on PC. So
think about arcade ports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that because with that, there's a lot of that wasn't more so a contract thing. That was more so a technology thing. Because I know Red Dead specifically, that's probably the most recent one where Red Dead came out on consoles and it took almost a year and a half, 2 years for it to go on PC. But that was because the literal dev work that it took. Not Sony throwing money at Rockstar saying you can't put Red Dead on a computer for 2 years. This is pretty crazy. That's a crazy time limit.
So are most time limits that much and we just don't notice it because they don't blatantly say it?
I don't think 2 years.
No, not 2 years is a long time.
Yeah.
But I've never paid attention. Like I hear
we're gonna be talking about PS6 in 2 years.
So comparable. Let me I'm gonna pull the scissor reel up and I'm going to because that wasn't the only one that had that disclaimer saying it's going to be on the PS5 for X amount of time. But that was the only one that said 2 freaking years. Hold on. Vamp while I'm Googling. I'm sorry, wait a minute, I got it. Whoops, let me turn that down.
Sure.
They ain't paying us.
Audience, y'all heard nothing. Come on. Now I'm trying to fast forward and think I'm missing everything. Come on. Is this the right one? Oh, this is not it. My bad.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Way to go, Brian.
Content.
Freaking. I suck. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to find this anytime soon. So we're just going to act like I didn't just attempt to do that. But
do what?
Edit that out.
But anywho, I know Deathloop is a timed exclusive. I know Ghostwire is a timed exclusive. Their timed exclusive period is not 2 years. This was the only one that had that 2-year period. Crazy.
Why 2 years?
Because if you have an Xbox and you want to play Project Athia, you're not going to want to wait 2 years and you're going to go out and buy a PS5.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you could build a time machine and just go forward 2 years.
You know, I was thinking about doing that.
I don't have $500 to buy a PS5, but I do have the spare time machine.
Buy an 8 flux capacitor and get some depleted uranium and build a goddamn time machine in my mother's basement.
Speaking of exclusives, Halo Infinite. It is coming out.
John's about to do that backflip. Don't backflip, John.
Don't do it.
So, quick backstory. Microsoft had their showcase for the Xbox Series X, and they wanted to show off Halo Infinite, the game that was supposed to be the big flagship launch title for the Series X, and everybody was rightfully not impressed. if y'all
sounds about right for Halo.
It was they chose a very interesting art style for a game that's supposed to show off the graphic fidelity that the Series X could do. And they admittedly, Microsoft came out, 343 Industries, the people who now make Halo, they came out and said it was a very early build, even though the showcase was in August and the game was supposed to come out in November. They're standing behind. This was an early build and it wasn't done. Anyway, the outrage was so much, it got pushed back from launch. They finally, 343 came out and said the new release window, which is fall 2021. And they showed off some new screenshots, which I'm going to put in our little chat so y'all can see, guys. It actually looks...
Yay.
It's not in motion, obviously, so you can't really get the full appeal, but it does look a lot better than what they showed off a couple months ago.
Good. Get it together, Microsoft.
Get it freaking together. Did I do it? Did I do the thing? Why did it not do it? Boom.
I don't know.
Boom. Boom. There we go.
Come on, man. Get your dick pic game up.
I mean,
that looks
yeah. It looks and let me see if I can find the picture that's going around the internet of the first showcase so y'all can see why. And audience, I will put it in the on the screen for you now so y'all won't be left out. Whoops, I opened up Twitch by mistake. Boop. 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 Compressing file. Oh my gosh. Discord, what are you doing to me? It's just a picture. Oh my god. Anywho, I was gonna put in the chat a picture of Craig.
Yeah,
the meme.
But I see Discord won't let you be great.
Obviously.
It's tough.
It's hard out here for a pimp. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I remember that
okay.
So yeah, that specific screenshot from the first presentation is what started the whole outroar of how the Series X might not be as powerful.
Why would they even show that? Like,
I agree.
Clearly.
Why even include that in anything?
So that's not
that
like
needs to be hidden.
So maybe they thought something was better than nothing. Maybe that's what they would think.
No,
let's show them something.
That's just.
Have they not been on the internet the past 5 years?
That looks like a screenshot from the next Fantastic Four movie.
Oh man.
Yeah, that thing is hideous. I was also not a fan of the. So all right, I'm not going to sit here and just mud stomp Halo Infinite. There were some good parts of that first trailer. The gameplay looked good. It did look like it was getting up to 120 frames per second consistently, and all the new weapons and accessories that they showed off was impressive. But that art style, boy, that needs to go back.
Big hand, boy.
That needs.
I say, boy.
What the hell you showing here, boy? I don't. Oh.
So, anyway, Xbox fans gotta wait a little while longer for that next Halo. Hopefully, they fix it.
Hopefully, they fix it.
Yeah.
That's what we always say.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
We're the optimistic podcast here.
John's like,
I know he's like
no, we're not.
Huh? What happened? Oh, are you still talking about Halo?
No, we're talking about World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And how Shadowlands is the now fastest selling PC game of all time. JB.
All
Yeah.
time.
3.7 million in the first 2 weeks.
Oof.
Well,
because Activision needs more money.
Oh, okay.
Which beats the previous record holder by 0.2 million, which was another Blizzard game.
It's
a very loyal fan base.
The reason that's interesting to me is the outrage that not we specifically, the outrage that the community had for Blizzard a couple of months ago really subsided very quick.
I mean, that happens all the time. Like, if you really hate a company and then they just put out a product that you really like, you're like, okay.
All right, fine.
Like, they shat on the people of Hong Kong, and then they were like, Diablo 4 is coming. And everybody just...
There's the ball. Oh, man, Diablo. I can't wait to play the Wizard ball.
But who am I to take the moral high ground?
Who are you? Oh, yeah, who are we?
I'm happy for Shadowlands. I'm happy for the World of Warcraft community for having this constant.
Yeah, I mean, even BFA that didn't Battle for Azeroth that didn't have as much hype around it as Shadowlands, that still sold 3.4 in the first 2 weeks. So again, these Blizzard games just do really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They just know what they're doing over there. I mean, even when they ventured off into what's normally uncharted territory for them with Overwatch, and they freaking changed the game with Overwatch.
Oh yeah. I mean, and they, Heroes of the Storm wasn't huge, but that still is played, and you have Hearthstone.
Hearthstone
they don't.
Dude, everything they put out is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. It's like Pixar.
It is. Yeah.
Oh yes.
The worst thing Pixar's ever did was maybe Cars 3, and that wasn't shit.
No, and I'm sure it did really well.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Think what you want of the movie. I'm sure it was successful.
Mm-hmm.
It was Cars 3 and what was it, Airplanes?
Yeah.
That I didn't even know was a movie.
But speaking of companies and bad PR.
Ooh. Speaking of, man, you are you're good over there with them segues.
Dude, it was...
our old friend Nintendo is at it again.
Nintendo. Nintendo, what have you done?
So a week after issuing the cease and desist to the Smash Brothers tournament, they canceled a live stream of their Splatoon tournament that they were hosting.
Their tournament.
They issued themselves a cease and desist.
They'll cancel their own content. Tell me that's not devotion.
It's like when the mob boss kills their own guys to prove a point.
Yeah.
They just don't care.
So to be fully transparent, the reason that the live stream was canceled was because the players in that Splatoon tournament wanted to stand up in solidarity for the people who entered in that Smash Brothers tournament that got canceled due to Nintendo.
Yeah, so the hashtag free melee and save Smash has been trending since that event. Since that event got canceled, and so a bunch of the teams and players in the Splatoon event added a free melee or save Smash or something like that to their names. And so Nintendo, not the tournament organizers, not no one else involved, Nintendo stepped in and canceled the stream.
Damn, man.
Crazy. And so they canceled the stream, and they said that nobody else could stream the finals. So if another team wanted to stream their matches or something, they did not have permission from Nintendo to do that, as far as I know.
I don't remember.
I don't know if that got walked back, but
So Nintendo has always been like very hands-on with their content, but I don't remember it being this bad. Like this year feels like.
Yeah, I mean, you had like 2013 when they told Evo they were not allowed to stream Smash Brothers.
I remember that.
That was like the last big time anything like this happened.
So they could do
they walked it back.
They just couldn't stream it, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, anyone can hold a tournament, but it's whether or not you're allowed to broadcast it. That is actually up to the developer. Like any developer can say, no, you can't broadcast my game, but Nintendo's just the only one that's actually done it, as far as I know. Because that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Nintendo don't give a fuck.
So like I said, we're all mad now, and then they're gonna re-release Super Mario 3D World in February, and everybody's gonna get over it.
You're gonna buy it.
Everybody's gonna get over it again.
But don't stream it, motherfucker. Don't stream it. I will stream it.
It's funny, like I obviously like Nintendo and everything, but other than the Switch and Ultimate, I hadn't bought a Nintendo game in decades.
Yeah. So one thing I do want to say is there's a lot of outrage right now on the internet, rightfully so, for the decisions that Nintendo is making, but I want to make sure that it's being directed in the right place. Boycotting Nintendo games, even though it does hurt the bottom line of the executives, you're probably hurting the developers a little more. And it's not their decision. Like, the guys that made Smash Brothers aren't the people who are...
Yeah, don't hate on Sakurai, all right?
No, please don't. Please don't send him hateful tweets. Like, he did not do it. Like, the people who make Paper Mario, like, they didn't do this.
Dude, even Sakurai, like, when he was talking about how people at Nintendo would come up to him and ask him to add a certain character in Smash, and he didn't really want to. That was like a, blink if they're holding you hostage. Like Sakurai, what are they doing to you over there, man?
And now they make him do these videos, and like you can see, like he's dead inside.
But you can see he really likes Smash Brothers and what he's doing. Like the dude has like 4 controllers out, and he's like playing 4 characters at once in the direct. Like, I mean, he loves what he does, but there was clearly a moment where like he was talking about people's influence over him that he has to like kind of follow.
When he was announcing that they added Steve from Minecraft, he was like, yeah, we kind of had to rework the whole damn game to make it work, but
I told them it wouldn't work, but they kept asking me.
Well, you know what I'm rooting for? I'm hoping they put Harriet Tubman in Smash, so he don't want me to.
You and your Harriet Tubman.
There is no... Anybody can go into Smash at this point.
We're gonna make Smash.
Mike's gonna add her to that game, Fight Gods.
Yeah.
But that's the news, baby.
That is the news.
Yeah, man.
That's the happenings in the gaming world.
Yeah. Mike, don't you want to... You're finally here to tell everybody what's next.
You know what's next.
Oh, you know what's next, baby.
John, do you know what's next?
I know what's next. I'm getting ready.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting
wrong
ready.
podcast. Wrong podcast.
JB, what's that? Ad break. Stop being like that.
Mike, tell them about the cool store that this whole operation is based off of.
Yes. Hercules. Yes. We are making progress slowly but surely, which I am broadcasting in. That's why it looks like I'm in the cave, but I'm not. In the back of the shop. Shop is significantly bigger. We're adding bathrooms because
I hear you need those.
Yeah, we need those up there. But yes, the shop is coming along fine. TV's up. We got some gaming monitors in here. Shelving's about to go in. Flooring's about to go in. So yes, 322 West Baltimore Street. If you're in the Baltimore area, is where we'll be. Maybe in about a week, 2 weeks or so, I'm gonna kind of like open up so people can kind of like peek their head in and see, because COVID. So kind of stick your head in just to kind of walk around, and yeah, we're coming along pretty good. So they have to put internet in here. I'm having a debacle for that because the infrastructure isn't here. So yeah, that.
Nice. For the time being, if you want to still buy stuff from MAP Technologies, you can go to the website, mapgametech.com/store, and you can shop to your heart's content.
Bunch of retro stuff up there. We still fix, sell, repair, trade in, all the stuff. So yeah, we're still up and running, even though we're not to 100%. But yeah, we're still doing what we do.
Nice.
Yeah. And we're adding a whole bunch of stuff. John and I, we already built the computers, but John and I are working on some stuff to restructure that to make that bigger and better. So thank you, Mr. O'Neill, for helping us out. And thank you, 3C, and thank you, Dolphins, for all you guys do. So, yeah.
Thank you for the sympathy. Thank you.
No problem. I'll talk bad about you in the next segment, so don't hold on too bad about it. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. We are here. Get excited.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Calm your tits just a little bit.
Oh,
you got that's too high. Find like right around here.
I went to Censor Bar like Girls Gone Wild.
It's the first MAP Awards, baby. And if y'all missed last week, we
let's go. And how they got to do when they play, man. Let's go, baby. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know anything. Just don't shoot me.
So last week on the podcast, we made up our own categories and nominees for our own awards. And the basic theme is, we know the Game Awards happened this week, and they're going to have your typical categories, your Game of the Years, your best strategy, your best RPG. And we wanted to find categories that maybe they didn't cover. So we did that. We put polls on our Instagram and our Facebook, both at MAP Game Tech. And our fans voted. And now we're going to tell y'all who won.
Who won? You did it.
Who won? Right. So basically, we're going to discuss each category one by one. We're going to go through the nominees. I'm going to say the winner. And then y'all will all express how happy or disappointed y'all are in our fan base. But let's start off with a good note. Most pleasant surprise of the year. The nominees were Fall Guys, Animal Crossing New Horizon, Genshin Impact, and Streets of Rage 4. So first, let's get some predictions. Who do y'all think won that one?
Fall Guys.
Streets of Rage 4.
Why?
I'm gonna go with Fall Guys. It's tough between Fall Guys and Animal Crossing, but
yeah, I thought the same thing too. Why do you, for you guys that said Fall Guys, why do you think Fall Guys is the most pleasant surprise?
I think Animal Crossing was going to be a given. Like, Nintendo wasn't going to screw up Animal Crossing. So we knew that was going to be good. Pleasant surprise of Fall Guys. Nobody really knew about it. It came out. People were like, oh, this is cool. Oh, look at it, like a little baby Jesus. So cool. So yeah, that's what
I don't think that sentence has ever been uttered before.
You obviously don't. You haven't met some of the women I know.
So they say so cool.
So cool, yeah. Like a baby Jesus.
Yeah, like a little baby Jesus. Like a little baby Jesus.
Yeah, I think like just being like a very family friendly and kind of fun for everyone kind of game that Fall Guys was. That's why. And it, out of nowhere.
Yeah, I agree. It did kind of come out of nowhere. John, who did you say?
Streets of Rage 4.
Why do you say that?
I'm a betting man, and I'm betting on nostalgia.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm betting on nostalgia.
Because out of these four, that was probably like the, lack of a better term, the dark horse in the four of them. Like, I didn't think that was going to get too many. I thought it was going to be between Fall Guys and Animal Crossing, to be honest. But the winner of Most Pleasant Surprise Award at the MVP Awards is Streets of Rage 4.
Insanity.
Right.
I was so shocked, but I mean,
Really?
pleasantly shocked. I loved
Yeah,
Streets of
I
Rage.
mean the game's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I
all
didn't
those
even
games
know
are
it
good.
was
Every game
coming
on that
out.
list was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like out of nowhere. They were like, "Hey, this game's out now." Like, what? What?
Yeah, the fuck this come from? Cool. Streets of Rage 4. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I think that's literally how it happened. I think they announced it. And
That sounds
couple-
exactly like my reaction.
But everybody, I mean, most of the people who play all these games said it was good, but a few guys in the arcade fighting club had gotten it, and they were talking about how good Streets of Rage was. I mean, it's you would probably have to go out of your way to, make that game bad. Just take what's already been there and just add good stuff to it. So, okay.
I was gonna say it's hard to make a classic beat 'em up like bad, but I did just play Fighting Force 64. So
yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
I've played some bad beat 'em ups. There are some pretty boring ones, but Streets of Rage 4 just nailed what made Streets of Rage so good. Like the music, so good. They have both remastered and the chiptune Streets of Rage music in that game, and it's just so good. And they have a lot of homages to the old school maps and old school enemies. And the fight engine, even though it's simplistic because it is a beat 'em up, is always going to be like a heavy attack, light attack, jump like that. But with that, there's a lot of variation in the move set.
Yeah, they're like combos and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like a 1v1 type thing, like you versus each other.
Yep, you're gonna have a versus mode that's pretty good too. That I was shocked by. It's damn near like a fighting game.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, okay. Well,
Streets of Rage, man. They did it. Now, for some less happy news, let's go straight to the most disappointing game of the year.
And I feel like this has to be introduced by John.
Yeah, I don't know, John. Do you have a list of the nominees in front of you? I can put it in the Discord.
I don't, but I'm pretty sure.
He's like, but I'm pretty sure I can name all of them.
Cold War, Cold War, Cold War, Cold War, and Cold War.
Damn.
All right, here we go.
Cold War.
I don't think I like it either. All right. All right. Most disappointing game of 2020. And the nominees are Avengers, Crucible, Kakarot, and some game that called Black Ops Cold War.
So
Never heard of it.
Let's start off, even though one of you, it's going to be obvious what your answer is. Who do y'all think ran away with this award that nobody wants?
I would like to say the Avengers, but
why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just they lost 98% of their fan base. I mean, it's like literally like 3 people playing the game. Literally, like 3 people that are like playing the game now.
It's just
It didn't
Alex
make
Javali.
hardly any of the money. It just didn't do good.
Yeah, I was one of those.
I didn't realize it did that bad.
Yeah, they lost 98% of their fan base. It is literally like
That's
nobody playing the game.
incredible.
Yeah, their fan base dropped. Square Enix released their quarterly report, and they said that they coincidentally lost like $30 some odd million the quarter that Avengers came out, and I'm one of the fools that bought it at launch. So Avengers definitely, like, that was one that was like near and dear to my heart. Like, I wanted them to take that award away. It's just the missions are repetitive. There's only like 4 or 5 maps, and you replay through them a lot, even in this campaign mode. And the first DLC character they decided to add was Kate Bishop, of all people. It was so, why? You didn't even. That's not even the best Hawkeye. You had two Hawkeyes to pick out of, and you chose the less known Hawkeye. Why?
Dang.
But yeah,
they should have dropped the Black Panther
so
DLC first.
I understand the reasoning why they didn't. I guess they just didn't want it to seem like they were trying to make money off of Chadwick Boseman's death.
Which it absolutely would have looked
Yeah,
like.
for sure. But but I could see the plus side of doing this in dedication of him as well. So it could have went either way,
Right.
but
Yeah,
I definitely probably would have been
either
the
way.
one to be like, that looks a little fishy to me. What about you, JB?
I don't know anything about Crucible,
Yeah.
so dang, I'm gonna have to go with Avengers. I didn't realize how massively awful it was.
Yeah.
I did not realize
Quote,
it was
unquote, shit
that
the
bad.
bed.
Mhm.
Dang.
John?
Huh?
Oh yeah, that's right.
You already know.
I'm sorry.
You already know.
So wait a minute, no. Let's talk about that a little more because I went to people with your opinion because I needed some clarification because like I said, I didn't play the current gen Cold War and I'm liking the next gen Cold War. And I was trying to find somebody to corroborate with your opinion and I'm having a hard time. So why
Hey man, hey. I can find you the reviews. I'll even direct you to the Black Ops Reddit, where everything I complained about gets complained about on a daily basis.
Damn.
Like, yeah. So I mean, one of the biggest complaints, and so I never played any of the previous Black Ops games. But one of the biggest complaints I'm finding, the same complaint that I have, like, this doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a $60 game. And it doesn't feel like a game that was developed for this time period. It feels like something that should have come out 10, 12 years ago. And other Black Ops players, they're saying that this is just a reskin of the previous game. So they're saying it plays exactly like the previous game. This isn't an upgrade. This isn't really a new game. It's just a reskin of the previous game. And it feels that way. It doesn't feel like anything new. And then when you compare it to Modern Warfare seems it feels real. Modern Warfare when you're playing the guns, the movement, everything seems real. In Cold War, everything just seems kind of like arcadey and cartoony. I sit and play the game, and the animation for the characters, they've got 3 frames for when they're running, like as opposed to Modern Warfare, they kind of look smooth when they look like somebody's actually running, you know. And yeah, that's why I hate it. I hate it. I hate it, but I gotta play it. Because, you know.
Hey man.
So can someone explain Crucible to me?
So Crucible.
It was.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Third-person shooting game.
Amazon
made it.
It was Amazon's answer to Overwatch, basically.
Oh.
4 or 5 years too late, but.
Yeah.
And as you see, it was the wrong answer for Overwatch.
So it was very weird from what I know because I didn't play it myself. It was only going to be on PC. It's been in beta for a couple of months before release, and even in beta, people were kind of hot and cold on the beta. Despite that, Amazon decided to release the full game. Then 2 weeks later, they put it back into beta. Which I don't.
Definitely.
That's not how betas work, but they went back, they walked it back, they took it out of stores, and you can only play it in beta, and then they just stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for me, I don't think that was that big of. I mean, of course, it was a disappointment, but I think people kind of knew that it wasn't really going to make that much impact
Mm-hmm.
versus Avengers. People had like hopes for that, and not so much.
I think people had high hopes for Crucible because of the Amazon name, because they just
Yeah.
knew there's so much money over there and so much tech too. With especially with like AWS, they should have the best servers on the planet.
Sure.
But
their Crucible was supposed to be their entry into esports.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Crucible's purpose was, to be strictly a game to enter into esports tournaments and stuff like that. So they kind of, I guess, pushed it a little too fast. They should have waited.
So who's the winner?
Yeah, pull that thing out.
The winner of most disappointing game of 2020 is... Oh, you're wrong. It's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Really?
Yes. That game did not... So, I was shocked too, but this one kind of like ran away with it. It was down to Kakarot and Crucible, shockingly. But Kakarot, I know, so a lot of people who are seeing this, they're not disappointed because outside of Dragon Ball Fighters, most Dragon Ball games are disappointing.
Budokai, what?
I mean, outside of like Budokai Tenkaichi, I know a lot of people like there's a fan base for that, but a lot of people have seen the initial trailers for this one and some initial coverage of it, and this was supposed to be the Dragon Ball single player experience that everybody was waiting for.
Yeah.
And it was not that.
It's just a freaking grind fest.
Yep, a lot of repetitive fetch quests. I mean, they nailed the epic battles when they happened, but they spaced them so far in between and filled that space with dumb NPCs that aren't actually in the show. And
it felt like it seriously took like 2 days for everyone to stop streaming that game. Because it just wasn't a good stream game.
Yeah, no, I would imagine. But damn, man. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, most disappointing game of 2020.
That's because Mr. Popo wasn't the main character.
Freaking Mr. Popo.
Mr. freaking Popo. Next up,
the other baddest, blackest mofo.
He is not black anymore. He's like purple or blue.
Yeah, I think he's blue now.
Because of the backlash.
Next up,
he was very black.
I got some sensu beans for you. Oh no, Breeze ain't going like that. Breeze ain't going like that, boss. All right.
Best remaster or remake. Speaking of people being remade.
I mean, everyone's just going to say Final Fantasy, right?
Maybe.
I am.
So the nominees are Final Fantasy VII, Resident Evil 3, Demon's Souls, and Warcraft 3. So, disclaimer, we were thinking of nominees for Best Remaster or Remake of 2020, and we all shit the bed because nobody brought up Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2. Which I love that game. I'm shocked. I'm disappointed in myself for not bringing that one up.
Yeah, I just
shame on you.
But it probably wouldn't have won anyway. But that was a really good game, and I just want to put that out there. That was a really good remake. We just totally forgot about it. Anyway,
I didn't play any of them, but I'm just going to say Final Fantasy.
Is everybody saying Final Fantasy VII?
Final Fantasy VII.
Well, the winner is Resident Evil 3.
Okay, I can live with that.
All right, people.
This is the one, like, y'all got this one wrong. Our fan base,
I didn't play any of them. So
I didn't play any of them.
So I will blame the lack of enthusiasm for Demon's Souls on the lack of PS5s that are in the wild. Like, a lot of people probably haven't played that one because a lot of people don't have the PS5. But Final Fantasy VII, this should have been its thing to lose. And it was It was close, but I was very shocked by how many people voted for Resident Evil 3. Because I thought Resident Evil 2 was the better remake.
Yeah, I understand because there's probably more people that have played the Resident Evil games than Final Fantasy VII. So I can probably understand that because there are a lot of people that aren't really gamers or don't really play video games that much, but have at some point played the Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
So even if they hadn't played the remasters, it was just a familiar name to them. So that could be a reason why they voted for that.
You might be right.
Yeah, that could be part of it.
Yeah.
It's something people forget about are the more casual gamers. Even though that takes up most of the gamers.
That is true. The whole dynamic has changed now. It's no longer like gaming is now so accepted that almost everybody does it.
Right. Yeah. And that was like one of the big arguments about there not being an easier difficulty and freaking what was that game?
Demon's Souls, Dark Souls.
No, it was like the samurai game.
Oh, Sekiro.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
A
lot of casuals out there.
Get out here, Cassius. No, I'm playing. Come back. Back to bad news. Biggest video game lie of 2020. We had Sony saying the PlayStation 5 would not have backwards compatibility support. They walked that one back. We had the many Cyberpunk release dates as well as them. So we packaged this one together. It was Cyberpunk's release date changes and Cyberpunk's saying they did not support Crunch, even though it was leaked that they were kind of doing something similar to Crunch. Miles Morales being a PS5 exclusive, even though it later wound up being a PS4 game. And Xbox claiming they were going to have a smooth next-gen launch, and they did not. What do y'all think won?
I would say the backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Because that was the biggest, like, that would have been so cool. Like, to play, and then you can't, and you're just, fuck.
Yeah, Sony's whole... This was a very weird lead up to the PS5 launch. There was a lot of contradictions that they were making with themselves, like weeks apart.
To be fair, but there's some weird stuff from both consoles coming into this.
Agreed,
no, for sure.
Agreed,
yeah.
But I think the console that Sony initially would have put out, had they not backtracked anything, and what they have now would have been like two different consoles.
Yeah. You go back and you just build a console out of all the wrong information.
Yeah, all the wrong information. Build that. Like, that console wouldn't look like anything that, we have in our living rooms right now.
And I'm fine with the PS5 not having the big back compat that we all thought it was going to have at the beginning. But if you're not going to do that, make those games available somehow. Like, the Xbox, there are some digital versions of those OG Xbox games and 360 games that you can download, and there's really no true way. There are some PS3 games that are on PlayStation Now, but no.
The only way to play a good bunch of those games is to get an Xbox Series X, put it in developers, and emulate the PlayStation.
That's my favorite. I love that.
Because evidently it does it so well.
I almost want to pick up a second one and just do that.
People are just like, it's looking at YouTube, people are like, yeah, it's literally like great.
And the Series S is only $300. I think that's a great way to spend $300. Something that can emulate literally everything.
Yeah.
It's a really good Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
Microsoft said, motherfucker, if you won't, I will.
What do y'all guys think? Who won biggest video game lie?
I'm gonna go with the backwards compat.
Yeah, I'll go with that too. That's just the most obnoxious thing.
Yeah. That still rubs me the wrong way when I think about it.
Biggest video game lie of 2020 is Cyberpunk.
Gee, man, I have not gotten one. What the what?
I've gotten them all wrong too. John was out of nowhere with Streets of Rage.
Right.
People are more disappointed in the Cyberpunk stuff than Sony saying the.
So I don't know if it's so much the release dates, even though
I think if it had been flipped, if they had said things were backwards compatible and then they weren't, that would have won for sure.
Yeah. But
landslide.
I think because Cyberpunk's philosophy on crunch, that thing dominated the internet for a couple of weeks after everybody found out what happened, where they said they were never going to do anything near crunch, and then that internal email leaked saying that they were forcing overtime.
We're not saying you have to work overtime, but we have torrents outside.
So I think that really did grind a lot of people's gears. And a part of me is pleasantly pleased because out of all the options, this is probably the least selfish one in that category. Because Cyberpunk having crunch doesn't affect the consumer, but it's a very shitty thing to do, and the fact that everybody's disappointed in it kind of warms my heart. The internet's not all evil. Huh? Next up is best squad game.
Squad!
Squad! The nominees are Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War's Zombies, Fall Guys, World of Warcraft Shadowlands, and Call of Duty Warzone.
I'm saying Warzone.
That's a good guess.
Go Warzone.
Noise?
Yeah, I'm
going
Warzone.
Why is everybody picking Warzone?
Because it's fun.
Like it's just the one that people can just pick up and play the most. I mean, it was a free game.
True,
right?
That is a big one.
I mean, like Fall Guys wasn't even free. I think if you had PlayStation, it was free.
Yeah, it was free for the first month with PlayStation.
Yeah.
Warzone is on everything. Your phone, everything. It's everywhere. It's on everything.
Yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah.
Why no love for Shadowlands?
Because it's a great game and it is infinitely more fun to play with other people, but it's not nearly as accessible a game as a Warzone.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it can win.
What the black guy just said.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to milk the guesses anymore. Y'all are all in on Warzone. The winner for best squad game of 2020 is Fall Guys.
Get the
I give up.
Yeah. I'm with him again.
Which I am not mad at. I understand that Fall Guys is technically not a squad game in the sense that you're not on teams with each other all the time.
Yeah, there's also that.
But getting that party of 4 and like jumping in and eventually rooting for the other person who lives longer than you is really fun. I don't know if y'all ever got the chance to do that personally. We should do that. We should do a group stream of Fall Guys when season 3 drops.
But it's nothing like shooting somebody in the face with a P90 with your buddy
is.
beside you.
There is something about grabbing somebody on Slime Climb and making them miss the finish line right before. No game has replicated that yet.
All right, Harvey Weinstein. Slime your climb.
Check it out. I got a feeling something wrong with you.
Next up, it is Best Character of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
This is like the first, probably the most prestigious, the one that's least joke of all of the ones that we've just made up.
Yeah.
But best character of the year, the nominees are Ellie from The Last of Us, Abby from The Last of Us, Jin from Ghost of Tsushima, and Miles Morales from Spider-Man Miles Morales.
I'm going with Miles.
I'm going with Miles.
Oh.
I don't know enough about the Last of Us characters. I feel like one of them deserves it, but I'm gonna go with Miles Morales because if I pick one of the two Last of Us characters, I'm gonna get it wrong because it's gonna be the other one. So I might as well just pick the wrong game.
So with the voting, I think, and I like the direction that we went as far as the ambiguity of the categories that we did, because people seen best character and there were a lot of factors in best character. Like, do they have engaging dialogue? Do they have a convincing character arc? Or are they just fun to play as? And I think that latter one is the one that guided everybody in the direction that they went. With that being said, the winner for best character was Jin from Ghost of Tsushima.
You were joking.
I am not joking. It was between, shockingly, not a lot of votes for the Last of Us characters, and I think that's because a lot of our fan base is probably that fan base that didn't gravitate to Last of Us because of all the controversy. But
they're toxic.
So it was down to Jen and Miles Morales.
It's like not agreeing that Breaking Bad is the best show of all time.
Yes,
because you just haven't gotten around to really watching it. And
exactly.
paying attention. Like, it's right.
Because Last of Us,
you just don't know it yet.
It's a masterpiece. I'm sorry. I don't understand why it's breaking so many people's brains. It is very fun to play. The story.
I actually think that might be like a new game that I play.
Yeah, you should, man.
I think I'll go back and play it.
The story is so good. And I know, like, damn, like, you hit the nail on the head with the Breaking Bad comparison, because the people who have seen Breaking Bad, who try to get people who didn't watch Breaking Bad to watch Breaking Bad, come off like elitists. And I think The Last of Us 2 creates that same thing.
It's hard not to come off like an elitist when you're right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. Yeah, I'm literally trying to get my girlfriend to watch it, and I'm just trying to explain to her how great the show is, and she's just looking at me like, I'm just like, you.
People are like, "Oh no, The Wire's better." I'm like, I watched it. I live in Baltimore. You're wrong.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, I watched it. A good show, but it's not.
Yeah,
Breaking Bad good.
But I mean, you played Ghost? What's your thoughts on it?
I'm not mad at it. Jin, the story of Ghost of Tsushima is very good, and Jin's a very likable character. But like I said, like, my theory is that out of those four characters, Jin is probably the most. I can't even say that because Miles Morales was there. I wanted to say that Jin is probably the most fun to fight with and control, and he is. But compared to Spider-Man, I don't know.
I don't know.
But the people can't be wrong. So Jin is the best character of 2020.
Yeah, so.
And that's it.
Evidently, y'all know what the hell y'all playing and talking about.
Next up, best quick play game. And we define that as a game that is easy to pick up and play and put down just to get away from the stresses of life and the stresses of 70-hour games.
But you!
The nominees were Spelunky 2, Fall Guys, Call of Duty Warzone, and Tetris Effect Connected.
I'm going to say Fall Guys.
Ooh. Spicy spice. Why you say Fall Guys?
Not that hard to get into. You don't have to have Like I suck at Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to know what you're doing. Like you don't really have to know as much. Fall Guys, just get in, jump around, race, just get to the end. Simple, easy. I play Fall Guys with my daughter. Simple, easy. Daughter's not playing Warcraft, even though she probably play better than me. But
what do rest of y'all think?
I'm gonna go with Fall Guys.
Yeah.
Going Fall Guys.
Yeah, I kind of want to go Fall Guys.
all right, what survey say? What do the people say?
The survey says everybody gets a point. It's Fall Guys.
Yeah,
Finally. Finally, y'all on the board. I agree with everybody. Even though I got an affinity for everybody on this list. I personally nominated Tetris Effect Connected because I really like that game, and that's literally a game I could just go to in spurts, play a couple of boards and leave. Spelunky 2, that's another one that I really like personally, but the popularity of Fall Guys is unmatched.
Yeah, I think Tetris is a little bit more niche.
Yeah.
As far as like people that play it, like it's obviously a widely popular game, but if you're not like a Tetris person,
right,
you're not just gonna pick up and play Tetris.
Yeah, there are a few enthusiasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Fall Guys wins again. I think it won every category. It was not. Oh no, it didn't win Pleasant Surprise. No. 2 out of 3.
Not bad.
Yeah, man. But next up, I guess, is our equivalent of the game of the year.
All right.
The Pandemic Savior. This is the game that got everybody through
during the pandemic,
during the quarantine when we were all shut in the house. I mean, we still kind of are, I guess.
I'm about to say, man, you obviously haven't read the news.
As you can see by my beard.
Did you leave?
We are back.
I walk my dog. But these are the games that helped everybody get through this tough time that we're still going through. The nominees are Destiny 2 Beyond Light, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Pokemon Sword and or Shield, and Call of Duty Warzone.
Warzone.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I'm going to Animal Crossing, but who knows? Who knows with this audience?
Who knows? It'll be weird because Warzone is definitely deserving of something, and so far Warzone has not won any category that it has been nominated in. Don't take it personal, Activision. But why do y'all guys say Animal Crossing?
When Animal Crossing first came out, it was a very leisure game. It came out during the pandemic. Warzone already been out, but I just remember the hype about it. Like people were selling, what was it? The bells is the in-game currency.
They still do.
Yeah, they're like selling bells and like they like, yo, I got 30,000 bells for like $15. And people are like, yo, that's it, just $15, son. People islands just stacked out. Flounder Island, they got
the Animal Crossing
social aspect of it.
Walking around, you can't even buy prostitutes. But he had so many. So yeah, just the when it came out, it was just such a leisure game that was.
I think the social aspect of it, is what should win it for this category. It's just like, because that's like everyone was talking about it. People were like working together and like going and visiting each other's places, and like people were taking pictures of their houses. Like people put like just poured so much energy into it. It was like a really good distraction.
Yeah, it was almost like you could relive your social life through that. Well, since I can't go to my buddy's house in real life, I'll go to his island and Animal.
I agree with y'all. John, why are you hanging your last hope on Warzone for Pandemic Savior?
For obvious reasons, because it was like one of the top selling games of the year, and people still play it and stream it. It got me through the early parts of the pandemic. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you go by the stats, Warzone. But the way these folks are voting, I don't know.
And the winner for the prestigious Pandemic Savior Award, Animal Crossing New Horizons.
2 points. We all tied John now.
That's it. That's the last one.
Oh, that's it?
That's
I'll
it.
knot it up. I'll knot it up.
That was it.
First annual MAP. Yeah. Hopefully next time this year we'll speak this into existence. Be able to do this live, studio audience on stage, and have like all the things. We'll get JB to talk job to everybody. Go ahead, JB.
Excuse me. I speak live.
It'd be good times. GG's. All right, cool.
Yeah, man. So thank everybody who participated, who voted, who watched. Congratulations to the guy who walked away with a brand spanking new code for Cyberpunk 2077. Again, that key phrase is Night City. Put it in the comments, and right after this show is over, we will pick a winner, baby.
Yeah, Night City.
Night.
That's JB's stage name, Night City.
So, Mike, why don't you take us home?
To Night City or
wherever you
wherever we go, just get us out of here. I'll thank you guys for tuning in. As always, thank you, my awesome hosts that have podcast with me. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at MAP Game Tech. The website again is www.mapgametech.com, and tune into everything to keep up with what's happening in the shop. Again, the new shop is at 322. If you're in the area, and peace. See you guys around.